The human experience. You would think it's simple, blending in, but it's not easy for me. I know the basics. Breathe oxygen, drink water, eat edible foods, preferably grown on soil, not something born and killed. Although protein does give us power. Once homeostasis of the body, mind, and soul is reached, you maintain. You make sure you survive with the planet. We are meant to pass time together, enjoy each other, entertain ourselves through passionate delights. That is, until someone claims the ball and wants the court for themselves. This Earth is just history repeating itself. Taxation, private property, government education, false narratives, controlled distractions while they kill time. It's like poetry. Works every time. You have to be a participant in the system to have a human experience while on Earth. Your life becomes an open book, and all of them can see it.
Tonight, I want a party.
Can someone tell me what that is? That is, like, it's gotta be the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. There's like a dispersion of something happening in the sky, and it's like raining down. We're in a circular pattern inside of there's nothing around it. This is so bizarre. And then over here, just forget about it. What is up over here? There's some weird shit going on in our world. That is just, to me right there, like, so weird.
You know, it's interesting, Joe, when I was on Joe Rogan's podcast last time, I mean, here, you know, Joe was like, I think that they're extraterrestrials. You know, he's openly saying that.
Yeah, it's not.
So you kind of,
not the case.
Well, okay, or NHI, I guess NHI.
Yeah.
But I mean, here, you and Joe are like the two big, most influential podcasters in the country, and you both think that it's not just a government secret tech, or that it's not just plasmas.
No.
And Joe's very close with Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Loves Elon,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like me, and I think probably like you, believes that Elon deserves a huge amount of credit for saving free speech in this country. Elon says there's nothing there, never sees anything, and they've got an amazing rocket system that sees a lot of things.
I'm not sure. I've talked to Elon about this a number of times.
Okay.
And I'm not sure he says that.
Okay, I thought he did say that.
No.
I thought he said if there's any aliens.
He jokes about it, which is a tell. Trump does too, and they joke in the same way. I mean, of course I love them both, obviously, and I feel like, you know, I feel like they both have really been great for this country, you know, net as they say. But no, they joke about it in the same way that a lot of people joke about it. They're like, no, there are no flying saucers from Mars.
Right.
Well, of course, they're not from Mars. They're not from another planet. They're from here. They've always been here. These are spiritual entities. This is my view, and I sincerely believe it. Can't prove it. But since you asked, so he is, you know, I've never heard Elon say that's not
Be
true.
dismissive.
That there's nothing there. He just said, look, we monitor space. That's what they do, right? And this is self-evident. If there have been so many sightings in this country and around the world that if they were from another galaxy far, far away, there would be some satellite evidence of that. They'd be picked up coming into our atmosphere. And of course, that's not, as far as I know, true.
Well, we do have some photos. I mean, there's that one photo of the one, I can't remember. It's in the James Fox documentary. So there are some of those, apparently.
Coming through space in here.
And certainly I've been told there's a lot more of those photos and images. But yeah, I mean, there's also...
It would not surprise me, though. I mean, it's clear that these things reside, deep in the earth, under the water, and in the atmosphere. I do think all the puzzle pieces are sort of in plain sight.
Did you ask Putin about it?
I did not ask Putin about it. I would never have done it on air because I did ask him a bunch of questions off camera about, he has access to, of course, he controls the Soviet archives, and the Soviets were great archivists. And we know that from the, I'm interested in Soviet leadership and government and all that stuff. There have been a couple amazing books written. The Court of the Red Tsar being, I think, the greatest of them, about Stalin, for example. And one thing you learn from reading the book is they kept records on everything, almost like the Nazis, like crazy level records. And, most of them have never been disclosed. So I did have some questions for Putin about that, about Rudolf Hess specifically. It's one of the great stories in history that doesn't make any sense at all. The number 2 guy in Nazi Germany flying into Scotland in a plane by himself and bailing out, right before the U.S. entry into the war, and had all these things to say that were wild. And one of the things he apparently said in his debriefs was he believed that Hitler was being influenced by demonic spirits that he had summoned through the occult. Huh? That's not worth knowing more about.
There's a lot of stuff on that.
There's a lot. There's a lot. But Hess said that. So I immediately asked Putin about that off camera. I didn't want to seem like a wacko having unauthorized questions, but I did ask him about that. He did not get a satisfactory answer, but I did not ask him about UFOs.